Hi YouTube, welcome back. There seems to be a plot currently underway to remove individual freedoms and rights and to give them to big government, because there is one side of politics teaching everybody that we can't handle ourselves, that we need some divine authority to handle us, someone virtuous like big government. You guessed it, guys. Many in politics argue that we need a big government to protect us from the big bad wolf that's most certainly coming to get us. However, many conservatives and libertarian alike believe that we should have the right to defend ourselves and our families, that we should take care of the things that we can take care of, and that we'll let big government take care of the things that we can't take care of, e.g. stopping global wars. If we allow such personal freedoms to continue, human freedoms, like the right to free speech, the right to freely associate with whom we choose, the right to practice religion how we see fit. And as long as those rights that we practice are not infringing on the rights of others to live freely to their conscience, then that's okay. That's a libertarian argument. It seems like it has common sense. The alternative is that the rights of few are superior to the rights of the rest, even to the rights of the majority in many cases. And I think we can agree that this is probably not in the best interest for all. I don't think we need to be separating people and segregating people in that way in 2017. I think we've moved past it. I think we can see a conservative argument which seeks to put people as individuals and to treat them on an individual basis based on what kind of person they are, what they do, whether they're a nice person or not based solely on the colour of their skin. So I think we can agree that sometimes the so-called progressive argument is not always the one that you think. How do we stop the divide and conquer, which is currently underway on the Australian population? It's a very important question. I believe the answer is if we actually start to treat people equally, if we start to treat people as individuals and treat them with dignity and judge their ideas and not their identity, I think that would be a good start. I think in 2017 you should be able to stand up and say that you have an idea or you have a plan and not be attacked from both sides for not fitting some ridiculous, archaic, unrealistic racial stereotype or other sort of stereotype. I think we can agree that people should be judged on whether they're a good person or not based on the merit of their ideas, and I think that all ideas should be judged on the merit of the argument and not on the identity of the person bringing the argument. Since when was politics about identity and not about policy, not about policy subscription? It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've had some real politicians that have actually stood for philosophy and haven't swayed with popular opinion. I think it's about time that both our major parties start representing the base in which they truly stand for and the freedoms which they truly once stood for. And you know, really, I encourage everybody to vote for the Australian Conservatives, because the Australian Liberal Party has proven time and time again that they have abandoned the Conservatives. They're not a Conservative Party anymore, especially when you consider what Malcolm Turnbull has been using his political influence to suggest recently to the Australian public. We have both the Prime Minister and the acting opposition leader in cahoots together on the gay agenda, welcoming in LGBTI issues, and I think that we need to be realistic here and vote for the Australian Conservatives, who are the only true voice for Australian Conservatives in the current political climate. I'm sick of the identity war, I'm sick of the proxy war. I think that it's time that we start judging policy based on common sense, and finally maybe as a nation we can move forward from all of these child games and this arrogance that's basically overrun our Australian Parliament. I think that Cory Bernardi is a good choice. and starts that wave. For far too long now, the liberal argument has controlled the airwaves, as that side of the argument has had a far better grip on technology and how to get the message out there. I think that it's important for young conservatives at this time, more important than ever before, to voice your opinion, stand up and be counted. In a modern society where we are basically mistreated, mocked and ridiculed in public quite often for sharing our ideas openly. I think that it's important that we stand up for these ideals. This has been a 10,000-year-old argument. I don't think it's going away anytime soon, and I don't think it's a new argument. I don't think liberalism is some new progressive philosophy. I think that it's an age-old battle between good and evil, and I think that now's the most important time to take a stand for good. It's time to take a stand for the right to live by our convictions. I think it's time to take a stand for religious freedom, time to take a stand for freedom of speech, and for actually eliminating the institutional bias and discrimination, and by all standing together in unity against our real enemy, forgetting this cultural wars and this identity politics. I think we can look past who we are as people and see the fact that we're all humans, and we can stand together against globalism, the real threat that seeks to conquer us by dividing us into little weak parties, so that we are few and we are scattered. Instead, let's unite against the real threat and say no to this globalist agenda that seeks to divide us, and say yes to true peace, which comes when we have faith again in our communities, when we build strong communities built on real diversity and not on bigotry, where we accept people for who they are as an individual and not judge them based on their identity. And I think until we can do that, we are doomed. And unless we get our act together, we may be conquered completely by some type of international force which seeks to destroy our Western values and allow communism to rule once again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Goodbye.